Hey, it's Dakota. I'm here today because a lot of people have been asking about PvP, what to do in PvP, how to play PvP, and there hasn't been any guides. Now, I'm the highest ranked player, I believe, in the game at 15,000 points, and I have over 1,000 matches, so I think I'm qualified to give a little help when it comes to beginning to play PvP. First thing to realize is the cost of the Digimon. You can only have up to 140 cost for a team of 3. Which is the level cap. So for example, my MGX is 55, starter Monogramon 41, Victory Greymon 38, which equals to 134 out of 140, which means I can summon all 3 of these in PvP. Now, the next thing we want to focus on is what the stats of the starter should be. How should you distribute them? Well, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much the same as PvE. The only difference is for the Digimon that you summon, you want to go full con on the rookie. That means that the Digimon is able to survive 3 to 4 hits so it can evolve during the match. Now, I'll explain more later how it survives more with the cards. But for now, all you need to know is full con on the rookies that you summon. Your starter that you start with instantly evolves, so it doesn't need the con. You can just go full strength, or full int, or whatever you're using. Now, if you don't know where to change the stats of your Digimon, any NPC that heals you or the one with the Digimon depositor, you just go up, redistribute the stats, and for a certain cost, you can change all your stats on the Digimon. And for the next part, that I see a lot of people not understanding, why am I taking so much damage from this Digimon? Why am I dealing so much? It's the attribute type, which would be right here, data, vaccine, vaccine. For example, there's 3 attribute types, data, vaccine, virus. Now, data deals more damage to vaccine, virus deals more damage to data, and vaccine deals more damage to virus. It's like a triangle, sort of like Pokemon types, if you've ever played Pokemon, which I'm sure we all have at one point. That could be a big game changer when it comes to making a team and trying to have one of each type if you're going to summon 3 Digimon. So for example, having 1 data, 1 vaccine, 1 virus. So you have good type coverage and can deal a good amount of damage to the Digimon you're facing. For me, I only have 1 data, 2 vaccine, because there's a lot of virus burst modes going on in PvP right now, such as Lucimons, Beelzemons, even some Lilithmon. Next would be the cards. Probably the most important thing that people don't realize is cards, how to use them, when to use them. Now, these cards right here are probably the only cards you'll ever need for PvP in all situations. And we'll start off with Haste, the most important card in PvP, hands down. It allows you to attack twice in a row. So have you ever been to PvP, you've seen someone attack multiple times, you're not sure why, you think it's hacks. It's not hacks, they're using haste. You can use up to 5 or more per battle. For example, you can have 5 here, and then another 5 here, and then another 5 here. But there's really no point, since if you read haste description, it says cannot be used continuously. So it goes off once, your Digimon's TP bar refills instantly, and you can attack 1 more time. And then you're back to your normal attack. So essentially, it allows you to attack twice. That's the most important card, should always be right there in the first slot. The next are the defensive items. Very important in PvP, like I was saying earlier, especially to help your Digimon survive when you go full con on your rookies. What you want to do, usually, at the start of a battle, is have these 2 equipped right here, which is a damage reduction of 50% and a damage reduction of 35%. And if you pair that with the full con on your rookies, that should allow you to survive 4 to 5 hits and almost guarantee an evolution into your Mega. But you could die in 2 hits or 3 hits if they're using a type you're weak against. For example, if I'm being attacked by Mirage Gaugamon Burst Mode against my Fujinmon here, he'd probably get like 2 or 3 shot because he's just so strong and he's weak against data types. But most of the time, you'll be able to survive 4 to 5 hits if you have full con and you use both of these defensive items right at the start of the battle. This card's worth mentioning as you can slot it in like so, and then when you run out of haste, and you still want to do, or when you run out of haste, or in between haste, when you can't use a haste, for example, use it once, instantly refills your TP, and then you're not allowed to use it for that second turn. You can swap this in to be even extra tanky with 20% and have 3 full tank slots. It's not necessary if you go full con on your rookies. It's kind of niche, only for very squishy Digimon, or very tanky Digimon that you have. It's kind of a wasted slot. I'd never use it, but it's an option. Next would be the attacking cards. Very important, very standard, everybody knows them. Usually I go the offensive plug-in N, and small spear, just for because it's nice to have at least 2 damaging cards to deal with the tanks and healers that are in PvP right now. Everybody's spamming the healing card, but I'll get to that later. And these are just the basic cards you use when you're attacking. So for example, when you first spawn, you evolve your main Digimon, summon 2 more, and you want to instantly try to evolve those and have these on, so when they're getting attacked during the evolution phase, they can survive. And then once all your Digimon are evolved, you either switch in for the attack and keep the defense if they're using a lot of Digimon that are strong against you. Or if you think you can survive their strong hits without any defense, you go full attack with the haste and then the 2 attack cards. And you just go into them. The defense items did their job, they helped you survive. Now they're not needed. You could always slot in, again, the 3 attack cards for when the haste runs out or in between haste turns. But I've noticed that 30%, it's not really worth it. You don't need it for the damage. It's probably only increasing your damage by 50 to 100. If you're lucky, it's not needed. It just burns your cards because you only get 40 card slashes. So it really just burns your card slashes. And that brings us to our next thing, which would be the recovery floppy and vital floppy, which recovers your VP and HP. Now, usually I just use the vital floppy personally for my team. I don't have the need to use the recovery floppy because I'm just full damage. Like you see, I just summon all 3 and go all in. But for a lot of people who can't summon all 3 Digimon, they only can summon 1 or 2. They might want to just, for example, take out one attack card, or take out the spear, for example, and go a little something like this, where you have both the recovery and the vital floppy to recover your VP and HP when needed. Usually you start using these during the middle of the battle, towards the end. So when you're running low on VP, especially a lot of Digimon, they have skills that just drain this VP bar like crazy within like 6 hits. You're already below half. MGX does that, for example. So you'd want to swap this in real quick, change your attack for defense, you'd want to change your defensive item in for one of these while you're attacking to regain some of that, and then maybe swap back. And if you have the small spear, you swap back to full attack and use this when needed and keep swapping. Now, one of the cool things, or the most hated things about PvP, for example, is the healing card right here, recovery floppy D. You can get 999 of them. There's no limit to them besides the amount of card slashes you have, which is 40. And you can stack them. Most people don't know this. If you buy them in individual sets of, let's say, 100, you can get 3 100s right here. 100D, 100D, 100D right here. And use all 3 at the same time, which basically means one attack, you heal half your health, which can be so annoying in PvP when you're facing Digimon such as Lilithmon, where when you attack it, she has a 20% chance in PvP, it's not 40%, it's 20%, to redirect the damage you were going to do to her back at yourself. So essentially, you'd be attacking yourself when Lilithmon's trait procs, which means she can use 3 healing cards. So any of the damage you do deal to her, she just heals it right away. And you just attack yourself on her lust, and you die, and it's a stall strategy, and Lilithmon is the most hated Digimon to play against in PvP for most people, because she just procs lust, dodges all your attacks, and heals up, and slowly but surely, your VP goes down, your EVP even goes down, and your HP goes down, while she stays full, and just lust, while you kill yourself and your Digimon. Very annoying, but I have a video coming up on that, about the changes I'd like to see made to PvP. So if you want to see that, just go to the description below and see a video explaining all the changes I think need to be made to PvP to make it a more healthy environment that's friendly to new players. Hint, Lilithmon, not friendly to new players. And that basically covers the cards. So the end result for me personally, with 3 Digimon that are attackers, would be Haste, Holy Orb, Cape, right at the start. Holy Orb, Cape, Haste, to start the battle. Then I would use the 2 damaging items, and 1 vital floppy. Sends healing. It's not really necessary because I kill them so fast. Battle does not stall that long. And then when my Digimon are evolved, I'd swap these. Now I don't need these because my Digimon are evolved. I just need my damaging items, and I start to go in. All my attacks, I have 3 megas. I go in, I attack, and then once my Digimon attack, let's say 4 to 5 times, my VP will be right about here, and I swap in a VP item for the spear. And then regain the VP, and then by that time, the battle is usually won. They're at like 10% HP, get a little VP back just to make sure I don't run out if the battle does go that long. Let's say they're using healing cards. They're stalling out the battle, my card slashes are going down, I run out of card slashes. Well, I used VP before I ran out of card slashes, so now I have about 50% to 80% VP left to just kill them during the end of the fight. During the video, I'll show later of me doing the battle, showing you all of this in practice. So if this is a little confusing or not straightforward, you'll see first person what it's like. On to the battle. Okay, here we are, the battle arena. Now the first thing that's worth mentioning is what you see right here, the point and ladder shop. Now the ladder shop can't be accessed. That's for when they do seasons later on in the lifespan of the game. They'll have seasons, and season 1, season 2, you'll get rewards for being high ranked. Don't worry about that. What you want to know is the point shop. Right here, you can get some of the best free-to-play rewards in the entire game. You can get scrolls for 120 ladder points. You only need 10 of these to get a guaranteed level from levels 80 all the way up until 90. This is the best way to level up from 80 to 90, is getting 100 of these scrolls, which is not easy to get. That's around 12,000 ladder points. From 80 to 90, 12,000 ladder points. You get stuff like Agumon Black Box. This is how you get Agumon Black. This is how you get Gabumon Black. This is how you get stuff like the Golemon X line, the Gabumon line, the Golemon line, the War Greymon line, for example. Luckily, you don't need this to unlock the megas of those. You can just go straight to the megas like War Greymon X, Dukemon X, etc. This is just for the Rookie, Ultimate, and Champion forms. Just a little stat boost if you unlock that. It's 30,000 points, one of the hardest items to get in the game, and you need 3 of them. So that's 90,000 points, and I don't even think I farmed that much in 1,000 battles. So it's kind of a endgame item. This changes your font. It's kind of gimmicky. I guess it just makes your font look weird and different. Kind of useless. These are some of the best cards in the entire game. I'll get to those. Gaiamon, for example. If you have a Ryudomon, this is the best Digimon to use it for, not Baihumon. Baihumon would have been the best Digimon to use Ryudomon for, but since we have the nerfed strawberry candies, which in Korea increase your trait activation by 50% for 1 hour, here in Global, they only increase your trait activation for 25% for 1 hour, which means you can't guarantee proc Baihumon's double attack trait 100% of the time like you can in Korea. So Baihumon's not that great. Gaihumon, on the other hand, is the easiest card to make in all of these cards, and is probably one of the best virus Digimon that are free to play, and definitely the best Ryudomon evolution. I personally have him, he's amazing. This Black War Greymon X. If you don't want to farm real base floor 2 for the 2 Black War Greymon you fight just to get the cards, you can always play PvP. I'll mark it this way. War Greymon X, same thing. Metagarurumon X, this is how I got MGX. It's the only way to get MGX since, unlike War Greymon X where there's actually a world boss, they took out our world boss for Metagarurumon X in the global version and locked it behind PvP. Now he's one of the best Digimon free to play to get. He comes with the double attack trait and he has 4 attack for agility, I believe. Just an amazing Digimon. This carried me through the entire game. Great Digimon. This is how you also get the evolution item for Skull Greymon, if you want to make Skull Greymon, which is one of the best evolution lines for the Agumon line, since it has 5 attack. This is the item everybody wants. The go-to item, the best item for free-to-play players that makes some Digimon just broken. It's a double attack trait. Now what makes this trait different from the one that Digimon like MGX get, for example, by default, is this one activates every single attack. Every attack you do, this trait will proc 100% of the time. So that's double damage for every attack. It's only 15,000 ladder points, which, keep in mind, is 2 times cheaper than the Spirit of X Antibody Digimon item, which is 30,000. It's kind of crazy how cheap this is. It's amazing. It's a must-have for almost every Digimon, the best trait, in my opinion. Then we move on to the best Digimon in the entire game for free-to-play players. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you can look up Vikun on YouTube. He has a video showing just how broken Genkumon can be. Now for Genkumon, you're going to need to get Meramon C1, Death Meramon C1, both unlocked before you can even unlock Genkumon. Now, I've spent 30,000 ladder points trying to get Genkumon, and I have not even been able to successfully make AC1 yet. So, good luck, guys. He's the best in the game. Endgame Digimon, you definitely want him. Then we move down to cards. PvP is also one of the best ways in the entire game to farm these 3 items. Data Explosion, this is the only way to get it in the game besides the gacha. An amazing item. Royal Knights Force, only 100 ladder points, which is like 1 win. if you use all 40 card slashes. For example, if you use all 40 card slashes, you're guaranteed to get 130 ladder points if you win that match, if you use all 40 card slashes, if you didn't know that. So this is a great way to farm real knight cards, Avalon's Gates, which are amazing, and Data Explosions, which are only 5. Very great, very good card. If you just have spare points, go ahead and get some of these. Next, we move to the important part of the shop where you'll be coming back to non-stop. This is where you buy the ladder-only items that can only be used in ladder, not counting the healing discs, which can be used outside of ladder, and the attack items right here, even the Brave Shield. But some of these are locked for ladder only, just like this Haste and this Holy Orb. You'll want to be buying as much as you can of these. You can only buy 5 Haste at a time, so you're going to have to spam that button. It'll fill up your inventory really quick. And you can only buy 10 Holy Orbs at a time, so that'll fill up your inventory quick. These are the 2 items you'll be buying the most, because all these stack to 9999. And ignore these 2, as these can only be used in private battles, not ladder battles. If they could be used in ladder battles, it'd be broken. They're great items for your friends when you just want to fight your friends. You toss some of these on, make the games more fun. And that's pretty much the store. Now, as I touched on earlier, you can also, the way ladder points work and how you get ladder points is you win matches. Now, we used to think that it's how long the match went on that determined how many points you get, but it's actually how many card slashes you use and how much you attack. It takes into account a lot of things, like how often your Digimon attacked, how often they got attacked, but mainly it's how many card slashes did you use that match. Now, if you use all 40, like I said earlier, you get a guaranteed 130 points, which is amazing, because let's say you win and you use all 40 card slashes each time you play somebody, that's 130 points per win, 130, 130. And if you, let's say, summon 3 Digimon and attack with those Digimon, use your skills, used all your card slashes, you can get up to 150 or 160 ladder points per win. You only get about 10 to 20 ladder points if you lose and use all your card slashes and stuff. But keep in mind, losing is better than running away, because if you run away, you only get 5 to 10 ladder points instead of the potential 25 to 30, maybe even 40, depending on how long the battle went on, how much you did, and how many cards you used. So it's important to remember, always stay in the match and just take the loss. You get more points in the end. Don't run away. It's also bad to run away. The opponent loses points. He doesn't get as much points as he could have. You don't get as many points as you could have. It's easier just to wait 2 more seconds, take the loss, get more points. Trust me, those 20 points add up. Okay, next we're going to go into battle, and I'll show you all what a battle looks like, and explain when I use cards and how to use cards and all the other stuff. Okay, let's start the battle, see if we can find somebody. Usually my queues take a long time since I'm so high ranked. It's pretty unfortunate. Also to note, if your queue hits 3 minutes, 300, you're guaranteed to fight an AI, which an AI can summon Digimon like Omegamon X, Alphamon or Ryukin X, insane Digimon. But don't be afraid of them, they're pretty easy to beat. It's like a guaranteed 150 points, because the battle goes on for so long, you use all your card slashes. Alright, here we go. Summon all your cards, evolve, summon your Digimon, try to get them out as fast as possible. Instantly switch over to them, try to evolve them, switch to skills, have this pre-open, instantly evolve, switch to skills, and then start attacking with your main. But keep your defensive cards on in case he wants to go after your summons. And this is a Jesmon, he's one of the best Digimon for PvP, so let's see how we do. Let's see the defense cards in action. Look at that, defense cards, full con. He can't deal that much damage. And he's strong against my Digimon. Alright, summoned. I still have 1 left, so I'm going to keep these 2 on, these 2 defensive cards on. Tab over to make sure I'm attacking with my MGX and my Lord Ray. That's that defensive cards, full con in action. Make sure I'm attacking. I should be able to evolve. If I evolve, it's pretty much guaranteed. There we go. And at this point, this is where I would switch cards. And just attack with everybody. Now if he tries to summon somebody, I can just kill them in 1 shot. Alright, ran out of haste. Now, as you see, I would want to use my VP cards for my MGX, since he is running low on VP. MGX uses a lot of VP. This is where the VP card comes in handy. And he's dead. Just like that. Didn't even need to use my VP cards. And that's pretty much how you do PvP, guys. It's pretty easy, pretty fun once you get used to it. So good luck out there. I hope this video helped you guys. See you guys next time.